Welcome to the Positive Spiritual Living Podcast, brought to you by Unity on the Bay. This is your positive path for spiritual living.
Well, so I wanted to talk to you about the Christmas story. Really at Unity on the Bay and in the Unity movement, we have a great time being able to see the story through kids and to allow us to see what that means within us. Because they played that whole scene here in front of you, but the reality is that whole scene, that whole story plays out in your heart and in your minds at every moment. You see, metaphysically, the story of the birth of Jesus that we get to celebrate is really the story of how we are able to create the life that we want for ourselves and to create the world that we want all of humanity to experience. The star that we saw, the star that the shepherds and the three kings were called towards, is that same sort of impulse that we have to seek good in our lives. It's that same impulse that we have to recognize that the light of God, the energy of God, is moving us to a greater expression of the truth of who we are. Mary represents purity. And it's true that for us to be able to have that life that we're all looking for, to be able to celebrate every single day as if it were Christmas, we have to have pure hearts. And we come into this world with pure hearts. We see it in kids, right? Just pure authenticity, pure openness to all that is good. And yet as adults, we have to remember to open that heart. We have to remember to be more authentic with that love that we want to express and experience in the world. And how do you do that? How do you get to a place where you have more purity of heart? It's different for everyone, right? For me, it was even just being able to be fully present to my son this morning as he opened up gifts, to experience love through the eyes of somebody else, to experience love through the eyes of my family, my fellowship, my community. Even you guys being here this morning on a Christmas morning at one of the services that we have, that in itself can create more purity of heart, because what you're doing is you're connecting with each other. And you're experiencing love through each other. You can also do it through forgiveness work. I love the fact that, and it never dawned on me. I don't know if it may have dawned on every one of you, and I wasn't the one, but I love now this year, I realize just how amazing it is that Christmas is just a week before New Year's. Because it is the story that reminds us of how we want to show up in the new year. It can give us the opportunity to do that, right? So the purity of heart is an intention that we can set for ourselves in 2017. Now, Joseph represents wisdom and he represents strength. That wisdom to know that regardless of the situation, regardless of what may be going on within us or around us, the story of Christmas is true. The story of that Christ's presence being awoken with us, whether we feel it or not, we have the wisdom and we have the faith to know that it is in fact taking place. It is in fact happening. Now, the way in which we can see the Christ child in the story, right? It can be the Christ presence that is being birthed. Also, any kind of divine idea. How many of you want, well, actually, Jason asked you earlier, how many of you want more health in the new year? How many of you want more love in the new year? Somebody wants a husband. By the way, if you're looking for a wife, front row. This will be our Christmas present to you from Unity on the Bay. How many of you want to just experience more good, more joy, more happiness? Well, it's possible. And the Christmas story reminds us. And regardless of whatever we may be experiencing, it is true. The Christ story will take place in your heart and will take place in your mind. And so that divine idea, whatever it may be for you, wholeness, health, joy, happiness, whatever it may be, it is right now true. And all we have to do is have an open heart and true faith, and it will become manifest. Now, I love the daily word today, and I actually took a bunch of inspiration from the daily word, because it says, as I express these characteristics in all that I say and I do, I am putting action to these gifts of the Christ. They were talking about love, joy, and peace. And so what are the steps that you can take this morning and during this week before the new year to be able to bring love, joy, and peace into action? One of the things that I've really been conscious of, and I mentioned it yesterday at the Christmas Eve service, was that really awesome energy that is around. I know that we get to, a lot of times you hear, oh, the traffic, oh, it's crazy at the mall, and people can be rude. And that's one way of looking at it, right? That's one filter of that experience. But if you could switch that filter and actually just see it as busy energy, excitement, right? Some people that may be a little more rude during the Christmas holiday, it's because they're getting lost in the excitement of going out and buying gifts, or going out and wanting to be with family members and wanting to get to that Christmas dinner on time. And so it really is just a switch of the way in which we can experience them, or even ourselves. It is this wonderful energy that has been building up, not just for the kids, but for the people that are going to be celebrating Christmas with each other. And so could you imagine if we could harness that energy, if we could harness that excitement, that zeal in everything that we do? As we're moving through our own Christmas story, as we're opening the heart to purity, as we are using the mind to recognize the wisdom and the faith that we have to see this divine idea show up and do good in the world, could we do it with zeal and excitement? We teach classes here, and we do different events here, and you see people very excited sometimes, and you also see people that are just showing up, just coming to another class because I'm not on my luck. What's the worst that could happen? And I'm grateful that we all sort of show up, but could you imagine if you showed up like a child, in awe, in wonder, being fully taken by the energy that something is being birthed here for me and for all those around me? If we could just take a moment to really just take a breath and be in full awareness of the blessing that is every single moment and every single birth of whatever is taking place in our life. Charles Fillmore, one of our co-founders, he was 93 years old when he said the following: I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm and spring forth with a mighty faith to do the things that ought to be done by me. A 93-year-old said he fairly sizzled with zeal and excitement and enthusiasm. I don't know about you, but I'm 38, and some mornings are really tough to get up from, right? We've had those. But if we could actually honor what he said and what he invited us to do, which was to really just, in every moment, recognize. And by the way, zeal is one of the 12 powers that we teach here at Unity. It's not something that you just sort of get or you learn in a class. Zeal is something that we believe is already within you. It's something that you just have to be open to feeling, because it is your nature. Take a moment now, actually, close your eyes and just say to yourself, I fairly sizzle with zeal. See, look, there's so much excitement, you actually said it out loud. So let's actually say it out loud. I fairly sizzle with zeal. Again, I fairly sizzle with zeal. And one more time, I fairly sizzle with zeal. Do you feel it in your heart? Do you feel it in your body? It could be that easy, just that reminder to say it to yourself and to experience it. Now, it's, like I said, I've been really honoring and really grateful for that recognition that Christmas is a week before New Year's, because we are birthing something new. 2017, if you join us this weekend for our for our New Year's Eve service, we go through a whole process of looking at what we're releasing from 2016 and being open to what we want to birth and be a part of in 2017 in the new year, right? So amazingly though, if we have that excitement as we are birthing something new, we can move through any challenge that may come our way. How many of you have wanted to, you feel all of a sudden that you have this divine idea, that Christ idea of the ways in which love is going to show up for you in a new year, or the way that health is going to show up for you in the new year, and all of a sudden you're on your way to seeing it happen, and boop, a challenge shows up. Uh-oh, what do I do with that now, right? We think sometimes that this divine idea should be easy and it flows, right? And when it doesn't flow, we think, oh, well, that wasn't for me. Maybe. But what if what is actually happening is just the very nature of the birthing process? So for those that have given birth or been around somebody that have given birth, I was a doula for my niece's birth. And one of the things that we learned is that the birthing process is one that needs tension, needs a challenge. To be able for that baby to go through the birthing canal, it actually needs the tension, the freedom, the tension, the freedom to be able to push through. We think it's just going to be a flow, but it needs both, and it's just an opportunity for us to recognize that that challenge itself is a part of what's going to make that birth even that much more fabulous and more fulfilling for us. One of the other things that I recognized this morning, I don't know if my son made it here yet. He might still be playing, but all this time, by the way, he's over there, okay. So all this time, we've been asking Lucas to tell us what he wants for Christmas. I don't know where he got it in his mind that he wanted a motorcycle. I did have the wisdom enough to realize that a motorcycle may not be good for a 4-year-old. But so we got him a bike, or Santa brought him a bike. And I'm taking a little video of, him opening up the bike and taking a look at the bike. And I'm going to show it to all our family members, how excited he is. And he looks at it, he goes, I don't like it. I wanted a motorcycle. Well, Santa brought you this one. But it was such a great lesson for me because, well, first of all, I did not send the video to my family yet. But about 10 minutes later, we were outside playing on the bicycle. He was enjoying being on the bicycle. And so for me, it's that whole idea also as we are looking at what we want to birth through this process. What if it looks a little differently than we thought it needed to look like? Could we still have fun with it? Could we still have excitement with it? Could we still love it and recognize that it is a blessing and a gift in our lives? So I've been just really blessed this whole holiday season being able to experience it through his eyes. The last thing I want to just share with you so that we can move through this process together and we can recognize the beauty of the Christmas story in our own hearts and in our own minds is to just liven up. I'm going to ask everybody who came in a Christmas pajama to stand up again. And I'm going to ask everybody to give them a hand for showing up like that. Liven up, right? It's Christmas. It's the holidays. I was so excited I got to wear sandals to be up here this morning, It doesn't it feel easy breezy and cool to be in pajamas on a Sunday morning at church? Hey, can we move through life like if we're in pajamas, right? Can we move through life having fun, lining up? I think we can if we really honor the spirit of Christmas, if we really honor the fact that with a pureness of heart and with faith, we know that everything that we want, everything that we are looking to achieve, to perceive, and to have not only in our lives, but in the life of the whole human family is taking place. Regardless of the challenges, we are able to move through it with fun, with ease, and with a knowing that the Christ presence is always with us and is going to lead the way. I want to thank you for joining us for this special service and to being a part of this fun experience that we're having. I want to leave you with one of the things that was in the daily word also. And to just own this for yourself if you're able to. I am wonderfully, vibrantly alive. That's the zeal. That's the enthusiasm. One with the Spirit. That's the awareness that God is with us at all times. Of faith, peace, love, and joy. Faith, peace, love, and joy. That is my Christmas wish for all of you, to experience that, to know that, and to share it with each other. Thank you for being with us this morning. So as our ushers are coming up, I'm going to share with you that, it is the holiday where we most sometimes recognize the power of our giving. And I want you to know that the power of your giving not only blesses this spiritual community, but actually blesses the unity movement and goes very well beyond our walls. So in November, together, through your love offerings and through your tithes, we were able to support the larger unity movement. Not many people know this, but the unity movement is only able to expand and grow through the support, the financial support of the unity communities. It's not like the other philosophies or religions where it sort of goes from the mothership down. Here at Unity, it's all about the community, and so we support their work. So during the month of November, we were able to tithe $3,102 to the Unity Worldwide Ministries, which provides to us support services and trains and ordains our ministers. We were able to support Unity World Headquarters at Unity Village with $1,700, and that's home to the International Silent Unity Prayer Ministry and the Daily Word magazine. We were able to support Unity Worldwide Ministries, the Southeast region, with $1,700, which provides us with support services for family ministry especially, regional conferences, and retreats. We were able to support the Unity Gold Coast Treasure Coast sub-region with $500. We were able to give another $1,300 to Chapman Partnership for the Homeless. By the way, now in total, we're almost at over $200,000 of giving to Chapman Partnership for the Homeless in the history of our connection with them. And we were able to give $300 of individual support to congregants in need. That is where your love offerings are able to move and expand and grow. So thank you for that Christmas gift. And I'm going to invite you to bring the other, I'm going to invite you to bring the other Christmas gift to your heart, your love offerings and your tithe, and to just take a breath. And this is a love offering and a tithe to the awareness that the Christ presence is within each and every one of us. So let us, with that in mind, speak our love offering blessing together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Amen.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Positive Spiritual Living Podcast, brought to you by Unity on the Bay, a spiritual community located in Miami, Florida. Unity on the Bay is supported by the generosity of its community. If you'd like to make a donation or learn more about Unity on the Bay, please visit unityonthebay.org. You can also follow Unity on the Bay on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for even more positive spiritual inspiration. Until next time, thanks for listening and many blessings. Namaste.